All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people, lovers of freedom all over the world. Wherever you're joining us from today, you're highly welcome to this wonderful YouTube platform that gives you quality news and information on all the activities happening in Biafran territory. Please subscribe to our channel if you've not yet subscribed and continue to choose Let's Talk TV for your one and only updated news and information on everything Biafra. That is all I have to say on the issue of my channel. You know already. You know when it comes to news, when it comes to broadcast, when it comes to information, we give you top hand issues trending and happening in Biafran territory. Now, straight up to the issue on ground. Yeah, so many people, so many efulefus, so many unfortunate people have been finding a way to bring down, the Prime Minister of the Biafran government in exile, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. The reality is that you cannot bring a man down, a man who has been ordained to carry out, or to fulfill a prophecy. You cannot bring him down except that prophecy is fulfilled. See, most of you don't believe in destiny. I am a strong believer of that because, I've seen without any doubt, if you're destined to be great, definitely you'll be great. That aside, now the particular video you're about to watch, there was a crisp analysis, a very apt analysis concerning the issues and the activities of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria and the terrorist government and Àřmŷ, who have been doing everything possible to bring down the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. But I want to say one thing. Their problem is Biafra. Their problem is Simon Ekpa. But yet, the major problem that Nigeria is having is not even Biafra. Let's be realistic about this whole thing. Nigeria is a major problem that the country is having. How do I mean? Go to the northern part of the country. If you feel or you think, for those of you who have been hitting on the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa as the person who is causing the insecurity in the southeastern part of the country, please just take a drive, to the northern part of the country. I will assure you, even that Abuja, which is the federal capital territory of the so-called Zoological Republic of Nigeria, before you get there, I will assure you that you'll be kidnapped by bandits. And you know what they do? This is their new scheme. Oh, they kidnap. And at the end of the whole thing, they make money through the government. And the government is actually sponsoring these same people who have been destroying the country, with banditry and terrorism. There's a video that the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa posted on his X handle few hours ago, where I think arms were discovered. Arms that were trying to get into the country were discovered. And I know they were actually pushing that to the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. But realistically, let us face reality. These are arms that are being gotten or that are being sent to bandits in the northern part of the country to continue to continue terrorizing the country and terrorizing innocent people. They are preparing for war. If you don't believe that there is WAR happening in Biafran land, I'm telling you today without any doubt that in Imo State, the government of this so-called country sent, fighter jet to buy innocent people, all in the scheme of ending the Biafran struggle. But do you know the truth? And the one thing that marvels me and one thing that gives me hope is that they keep on trying, but they don't succeed. Because it's as if, the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa is able to expose every attack they make before they even make that attack. So before it happens, there is already a guard up in Biafraland. That is why they cannot penetrate. So I will continue to urge the Nigerian government, keep on hitting on Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. But the reality is that you will not get anything against that man, and you cannot bring him down, because he is fighting a just cause, and he is not done fighting for what he believes and what he is ordained to fight for. Please watch this video, and please go to the comment section and give your input concerning this issue.
We will be dissecting a certain statement or publication on our own today in the morning, or should I say afternoon. This very afternoon on our own, we began to see headline flying left and center. I said, what is going on? People, my message was full. People were sending me message, the headline. I checked. I saw a headline that some unscrupulous elements. I want you to tag somebody here. If you haven't shared the broadcast, I don't know what you're waiting for, because we have come here to dissect them, put them in one corner where they belong. Mafia. Now, this afternoon, as the message keep flying all over the places, and I opened my WhatsApp, I saw a lot of headlines, a lot of messages. They said they have, or they should I say, they have messaged the Finnish government to commence the repatriation of the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa. And to make the matter worse, they said they are from Southeast. They said they are from Southeast. Now, I will send a message to them, because I know the reason for all these shenanigans. Without wasting any time, let me first of all bring something to the screen, which we will be talking about this very evening. We are not going to take time. I'm not going to take your time, because I want this very live presentation not to last more than 2 hours. Yes, that's my plan. I don't want it to go beyond 2 hours, maybe even less than that. Depends on what we are going to encounter during the broadcast. So please, if you haven't shared it, endeavor to do so. Kindly do so, because we are not going to spend much time here. Now, let me bring the first topic to the screen before we delve into the other one. I just want to acknowledge this. I just want to make mention of it. Not that I was expecting anything. I never expected anything from the zoo. I never expected anything from the court, from the zoo court. I always know that it's going to be kangaroo. That is the reason why we determined to delegitimize the zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom from Biafraland, without waiting for the court of the zoo to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We saw it from beginning. I remember the first ever interview that I had with the Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa in September 2021. In that very interview, maybe one of these days I may stream it. I may stream it live, at least to refresh our memories. I asked him, what is the fate of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu since the criminals have cancelled sit at home illegally, though the sit at home continues as we all can see? But what is the fate of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Are we going to hold on and wait for the zoo court to free him? Mazi Simon Ekpa said that we cannot in any way wait for the zoo court to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because that may not happen, especially anytime soon, especially for now. He said it. That we are the ones who are going to fight for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He said it. And of course, since then till today, we have never backed down. We have never abandoned him. Can you imagine that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came to court on the 19th of June 2024, which made it 3 good years of his kidnap from Kenya, which made it 3 good years that the filthy hands of the zoo agents laid on the innocent man like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Very soon, we will start calling him Saint Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a living saint. So, if on 19th of, had it been, not even if, had it been that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came to court on the 19th of June, that made it 3 years of his incarceration, and asked his attorneys about the Biafran people, the well-being of the Biafran people. How is the Biafran people faring? And what about the Biafra freedom fight? What about the Biafra agitation? Let me use that soft one, agitation. Had it been that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu queried in the court what is going on with the freedom fight of the Biafra, and they told him, anyway, the leadership decided to, hold on for now, and first of all, fight for your release from the zoo court, and when you come back, then the struggle will continue. Can you imagine that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gets this kind of response? As you are listening to me right now, can you imagine what would have happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that he was going back to the DSS dungeon that same day on the 19th of June, and the response he got after 3 good years was that, anyway, everybody is going about their normal businesses in the southeast. Everything is normal, everybody's waiting for you to come back so that the struggle will continue. Everything is normal. People are enjoying their lives, even though Tinubu's administration is not good for anybody. But at least the southeast is calm. Everywhere is very cool. People are living their normal lives. Oh, So you were supporting me when I was outside, shouting on top of my voice, galvanizing the minds of our people, calling Biafrans to come together for their freedom. Now I have issues. Now I'm inside and you abandoned me, waiting for me to come out and then to continue again where I stopped. Can you imagine? Can you just tell yourself the truth? What would have been the mindset of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu going back to the DSS dungeon that very day on the 19th of June? That made it 3 good years of his kidnap in Kenya. By now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have given up, resigned, and tell the zoo government, I know they do again, make una call remove me from here. Obinyelo Fakana Anakuko. Obinyelo Fakana Akuko immediately put down his signature. I'm spending my time here fighting for people who do not even regard me. They are waiting for me to come back and continue. So all the whole things I've been teaching all of you, all the whole things I've been doing, lecturing you people, telling you how to do this and that, have all been in vain. Have all been in vain. That nobody is able to give it to them woto. Among all of you that call yourself my disciples, all of you from all around the world, none of you is able to rise up to continue from where I stopped and continue to give it to the zoo woto. Wum. Onada everywhere. Wum. Osonaba. Newspaper na-ebu ya, TV na-ebu ya, ụwa niile na-ekwu okwu ya. Biafra na-ekwu everywhere. So none of you is able to pick courage and rise up and continue, even do worse, even do more than I ever dreamed of. If not for anything, for my kidnap. If not for anything, for my kidnap. None of you is able to do it. Can you imagine how demoralized Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have been had it been they did not give him that news at the law court? Don't worry about whatever he said. Don't worry. Don't just bother yourself. Whatever Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says in the court, don't bother yourself. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about any single word that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says in the court. Don't even have a sleepless night over it. Don't worry about it. But the word that I have told you today, this evening, now, that what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have been, had he been, he was told that Southeast is okay, everybody is going about their normal businesses, the leadership of IPOB is waiting for you to come back and continue from where you stopped. That means the Biafran people have literally forgotten about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But the best news ever that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would ever dreamt of is to hear the news that there is somebody that he was even dreaming of, he was eyeing, believing that this person has what it takes to do even more to get to the promised land should anything happens to me moving forward. For him to hear that news that there is somebody that he already knew that can do something, and he recommended him. He also prophesied that he is bringing a new dimension. For Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to get the news that that person is pulling the strings, that he's not just steering the ship, but he's already taking the ship to the final destination. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can even say, okay, just give me another 2 more years. I'm ready to be here in the dungeon. He will go back to that dungeon a happy man. Not he will. He went back a happy man in the DSS dungeon. So anybody that sees Mazi Simon Ekpa in Finland or wherever you meet him, please give him one bottle for me. Cliff Ibe, I can see you. That's an old name. Thank you for. I have to stop saying that's an old name because a lot of people who are here have been in this struggle for very many years. Anybody that sees Mazi Simon Ekpa anywhere, wherever you meet him, give him one bottle for me. And I'm going to get the money. Go. So, as you can see on your screen, the zoo court said they have dismissed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's 1 billion naira suit against the federal government of the zoo for human rights abuse. Let me just read it. I don't have time to analyze this because I have never, from beginning, I have never expected anything from the zoo court. Even that appeal court ruling was a shocker. Thank God for somebody like Aloy Ejimako that came up with that very word called extraordinary rendition. If not, all those fulefu, both in the Gogoro, what do you call it? Senior advocate of the zoo. Senior advocate of the zoo. What do you call them in abbreviation? Senior advocate of the zoo. Can somebody help me? S what? SAN. San. Mad people everywhere. They say their name na San. Yet you don't know the name of the crime being committed against your client. Mad people everywhere. Thank God for Aloy Ejimako. The moment he mentioned that name, extraordinary rendition, that was the end of the zoo. The zoo Ethiopia. For that case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that was the end of that case. The moment that word was mentioned, boom, from Aloy Ejimako, the zoo entered into one chance all over the world. Of course, we all know the meaning of rendition. As far as you know English word, I am very certain that you know the meaning of rendition. And we also know the meaning of extraordinary. We know. Once you know English word, you know the meaning of extraordinary for sure. But have you ever known that you can put those two words together and it becomes a very high profile crime being committed by a state against an individual? Will you ever know? Extraordinary rendition. Have you ever known that that was a crime, a high profile crime? Please let me know if you knew it before. Can you make a vote? If you knew it before, can you tell me in the comment section? If you don't know it, tell me. Just say yes or no. If you know it, say yes. If you don't know it, say no. I'm very certain no, a comment section now. I'm very, very certain about that. Be sincere to yourself. Say no if you didn't know it, but say yes if you knew it. Just type no or yes. You see? So people call themselves San. They were carrying. I'm not saying if you know the meaning of extraordinary or if you know the meaning of rendition. I'm talking about bringing those two words together and knowing that this is a high profile crime that a state can commit against an individual. I am 1,000,000% sure that 99.999% of the entire zoological republic of Animal Kingdom or animals in Animal Kingdom do not know anything about that, including their so-called professionals. They everywhere. San, I'm a san. And I saw san while you know nothing. You took Aloy Ejimako. Now, they say the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has lost his fundamental rights enforcement suit filed against the federal government of the zoo. How would he lose a case like that? Right abuse. So the judge that, denied the case Is he not aware? Doesn't he know the meaning of fundamental human right or fundamental rights? And is he not aware the meaning of right abuse? Is he not aware the meaning of right abuse? Of course he knows. He knows. But the people that employed him, his employee, his and what? Is it employee employ what? Somebody help me and Andy Bosinuche na abia. Uche na abia. His employees or what? Who is the boss? Is it employee or can you help me, please? Somebody help me. Somebody help me. His employers. Thank you. Employee is the worker. The person that is employed is the employee. So his employers are his bosses, those that employed him. Now, let's continue. Is this man not aware? What is the name of the judge? Look at the person here. Justice James Omotosho. Omotosho. Those days when we were growing up, they used to tell us that Yorubas are very well educated. We thought that Igbos are only good in business. We never knew that Igbos are actually number one in education all over Africa. They used to confuse us. These are the lies that they told us in order to demoralize the Igbo man, in order to bring us to the lowest level. Go and check the professors in history of the zoo. Till today, both old and current, Igbos are still number one. Go and check engineers. Go and check doctors, nurses. Go and check them. Midwives. Go and check them. Igbos are still number one, both in the old and in the new. Go and check it till today. But they will come, Yorubas are very well educated. Igbos are business-oriented set of people. So we're doing only business, right? We are no longer into education. Yet, we still have the highest number of professors. Philip Emeagwali, to his blessed memory, I believe that man is late, is the one that revived computer that we are using till today. If not, even in the year 2000, computer would have crashed. The whole world would have been under darkness. It took Philip Emeagwali to set computer in the level that it is today. He's an Igbo man from Anambra State. That one, they can never tell you his history. They can never tell you about him in order to put the Igbo man down. Now, they say Justice James Omotosho held that Kanu failed to provide credible evidence of... let me read it in full. They said on Monday, Justice James Omotosho held that Kanu failed to provide credible evidence to substantiate his claims that his interactions with his lawyers were interfered by the respondent, that he was denied unfettered access to his lawyers, or that DSS officials eavesdropped on his conversations with his lawyers, which constituted a breach of his right to a fair hearing. You see? So this man called Omotosho is not aware that the room where Mazinam Kanu says his lawyers is bugged. Is he not aware that the room is bugged? That the DSS listens to every single thing that they talk about. So, somebody said Philip Emeagwali is still alive. Thank God, though, because there's a time when we're all a rumor. There's a time, yeah, of course, he's a US citizen. I know that one. Thank God, though, that he's still alive. There's a time they rumored there was a rumor about his death. Thank God, I'm sorry. God forbid. In fact, I was thinking that the rumor was true. Thank God he's still alive. So we continue. Now, I don't want to dwell on this because I already knew from beginning that nothing will come out of the court of the zoo. Because people who spent billions, millions of dollars, and billions, if not trillions, of worthless naira to commit such crime, such abomination against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, flew all the way to Kenya to kidnap him. They did not use, remember one thing, that they did not travel to Kenya with helicopter. I want you to pay attention because the last time I checked, from the zoo to Kenya is 6 good hours, 6-hour flight. 6-hour flight. I just want you to pay attention. So a place, a distance of 6-hour flight is not meant for helicopter. Helicopter cannot fly it. So meaning that the zoo did not travel from Nigeria, from Abuja to Nairobi to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with a helicopter. That is not possible, because if they had gone with helicopter, it could have landed anywhere without the consent of the government. They can even land on top of the roof, kidnap him and squeeze him through the roof and flew back to the zoo from top of the roof. So it would have been possible. But the distance is too far that a helicopter couldn't have done that job, meaning that they went with jet. They went with at least with a private jet. So where would this private jet land? At the airport. The private jet landed at the airport, and you cannot pass through the airport without the consent of the airport officials and the immigration. So meaning when the airport officials and the immigrations are aware, that means the government is aware. So for the government to be aware and allow such illegality to happen, that means so much money has passed through the account of the government. That's where I am driving this matter to. So for them to spend that billions of worthless, if not trillions of worthless naira and millions of dollars to commit such heinous crime, and you think they will just come and then they will give you judge that will say, okay, for the fact that you are innocent, I discharge and acquit you. That mistake happened. That very mistake happened during the during the battle of the appeal court. That mistake happened at the appeal court. It was a great mistake in the eyes of the zoo because they never knew that justice would have prevailed at the appeal court. They never knew anything like that would have happened. So it was a great error for them. And that one that happened has happened. And they are not ready to make such mistake again. So any judge they are giving to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be a judge certified by the zoo government to work for them. They are coming to work for the zoo government, not to work for the interest of of justice. No, it's for the interest of the federal government. So this one, everybody must understand it. When I sat down and did all these calculations from beginning since 2021, I told myself, hey, this matter is actually in our own hands, not in the hands of the court, is in our hands. Because for them to commit such crime, it's not something you just come and say, okay, fine, you don't be, oh yeah, begin the go. We discharge you. No. Now we go fight for them. And thank God we have been doing that diligently since 2021 after defeating the criminals and, pass vote of no confidence on them and sideline them. Since then, we have been doing the needful till today without backing down. And that is the lifeline of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still breathing till today. That is the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still standing gidigba till today. And that is the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never giving up on Biafra and will never give up on Biafra. Because of people like us. Because of somebody like Mazi Simon Ekpa. Write it down. Whenever he comes out, he will still say it. He will say it. That one, I will beat my chest and say it 1 million times. All right, now let us go to this Isabunti Abado, the reason why we have come here this very evening. Please, if you haven't shared the broadcast, I want you to take your time and do so. Very, very important. Because Anya Batago na isi Sepunti Abado, and whenever you stop hearing my voice, please let me know in the comment section. Once you stop hearing my voice, do not hesitate to alert me in the comment section. Very, very important. Because we don't trust the network. So when you look at the screen, you will see what is there. Within 50 minutes of this very broadcast, we are over 1,200 people watching live. So we are progressing. From 2 different platforms, we are broadcasting live and direct. All right, let us continue. Let us continue right now without wasting any time. You can see on your screen, they said, Southeast Professionals. Hey, oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. Zoological Republic. They said, Southeast Professionals condemn sit at home once Ekpa repatriated. They want Ekpa repatriated. Wonders shall never end. I wonder why this I wonder why I can't make use of the mouse on Vanguard. What's wrong with Vanguard? I can't make use of mouse on this site. Oh my goodness me. Okay. They said Southeast Professionals condemn sit at home. They condemn sit at home and want Ekpa repatriated. Now, you ask yourself, who are these Southeast professionals? Where did they come from? What are their names? Which part of Southeast do they come from? These are very, very... What's going on? Why am I hearing the sound? So, you ask yourself, who are these people? Where are they from? What is wrong with them? What part of Southeast are they from? These are very, very serious questions begging for an answer. And I'm going to explain some things to you. I will explain some things to you moving forward. So all I want you to do is just to pay attention. First of all, let me see if I can, of course, bring this very article or read this very article from a different platform, because it is quite unfortunate that this Guardian News is not accepting my, my mouse. I can't use my mouse on this very platform, on the guidance, what do you call it, on the guidance website. So let me read this news from another platform, because they are not the only one who have already published this very junk. So because other news media platforms have done the same as well. So let us read. Oh my goodness me. So let's read from Vanguard, and then see how they have reported it on their own. So let's move. All right, this is from Vanguard News, Nigeria. They said, Southeast professionals task Finnish government on repatriation of Simon Ekpa. Southeast professionals